Hey, good morning, guys. Listen, I didn't got on here late. I didn't even know that it was 8:30. I promise to God, like I got up, I was like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. Let me fix me some coffee. Let me take out my dinner for today. I got a taste for some. Y'all know I love that cream of chicken. I was like, what am I gonna eat with that? Um, no, I might do some potatoes. But how is everybody doing this morning? I'm off work today because I gotta take care of my mother for some do some things for her. I see Angel the Real Boss is on here. M Rose, Sharon, Tashawn, Dub JJ, Shan Ban. Who else? We're just waiting for everybody else to come into the room. So how did you all enjoy the Super Bowl? Like did your team win? Hey Gigi, hey the real. I'm gonna tell y'all what my daughter did. Oh, she a slick one. She mentioned to me, she was like, Mama, I want to go get my nails done. Her friend that she went to school with does nails. She does natural nails. I think I might start going to her. Another young lady that I work with recommended someone that does natural nails. And so she was like, she had passively said, I might need you to keep the baby. I didn't say one word. I didn't say I would do it. Nothing. I didn't say nothing. I ignored it. Cause that baby had me tired because she moves a lot. And so I was like, dog, somebody start ringing my bell. Then I get a call from the security that I got a guest. Okay. Because I was like, dog, oh my God, that girl get on my nerves. So she comes on up and it's her and the baby standing in the door. Mama, here go the baby. I'm going to get my nails done. I couldn't believe that girl did me like that. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. She basically just threw her in. Oh, um, hold on, you guys. Okay, I was reading something. Anyway, she wore me out. And then guess what time my daughter came back to get her? At 1 o'clock in the morning. And she had just fell out and went to sleep. Supposed to getting her nails done, but came back at 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, oh, okay, I got her. Hold on, y'all. Let me call Miss Kim. Y'all give me a minute. She'll call me back. Hey, Switch B. Okay, you guys. I wanted to talk about. I want to let her. Okay. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Okay. I'm doing. I know it's okay. Listen, I am off today because I got to take my mother for some tests. How about would it be okay? Is tomorrow too late to serve them? Okay, well, I'll serve them the first thing in the morning. And that's for Mr. Davis and the daughter and the mom, right? Okay, and for court on Friday. Okay, all right. I'll make sure I do that. No, you're fine. You're fine. I'll be praying for your sister. Okay, Miss Kathy. I'll call you. I'll call you in the morning after I serve them. Okay. All right. Bye bye. Okay, great. Bye bye. Okay, you guys. It's one of the attorneys. She bad to the bone. I love her. I she when I mean she. I always love working with her. So um let's see, laugh out loud. That's how they do. That's why I don't babysit. They don't know how to come get they can oh I'm telling you. That baby, she sang. Y'all know she likes to sing. She sang all night. She was always into something. You cannot blink your eyes with her because she constantly move around. Okay. And here's my listen. I bought like from y'all know I'm a Timu queen now. I used to talk about Timu, but I like those black figurines that you could put candles and stuff in. So y'all know I have candles lit everywhere. Okay, so I have them lit like in my dining room. And the next thing I know, okay, I saw her over there. She was just a singing. 1 minute she was like on her little thing that I bought her. Her little not it's not a laptop, it's like a what are those little things, those baby little things called like an iPad or something. Yeah. I was watching her. I was like, dog, she over there. That's what her candle is. But she was playing a little game and stuff. And then the next thing I know, I heard something say boom. The candle had flipped over. She had tried to grab the candle. Like you cannot blink your eyes with her. And that is the part that drains you. That is the part that drains you because you cannot blink your eye. So um yeah. Anyways, I love her, but my daughter didn't get to as a matter of fact, my daughter didn't get back until one something. And y'all know what she said when I opened the door, Mama, you like my nails? As if I really believed that she was somewhere getting her nails done from on a Sunday from about 5:45 until like I believe she went and got her nails done and then went to a Super Bowl party. Okay. While her daughter terrorized me. Anyways, I was so tired, it didn't make no sense. And then my mama called. I got my doctor's appointments in the morning, and your sister not gonna be able to take me. So I guess I'll just try to take myself. Now my mother's leg is messed up, as if I'm gonna let her take herself to the doctors. I said, Lord have mercy. Lord. She definitely went to a Super Bowl party because she was looking at me weird when she just popped up at my house. Now I guess I'm gonna have to tell security, don't call me for don't if I don't answer when they ring, don't call me. Anyways, you guys, I want to talk. Speaking of Super Bowl parties, okay. I was up this morning and I started looking at I don't know what made me go look at Yo Gotti. I know Yo Gotti's just been on my mind lately. A whole lot. Pregnant head been on my mind, right? And so yeah, she was finessing me. She definitely finessed me. She definitely finessed me. She always been like that though. She just like her daddy. I'm talking about my oldest daughter. She like her dad. Um, anyways, you guys, so I went and I started looking at Yo Gotti. Okay. And it's something because when I pulled up Yo Gotti, I saw he might have, I don't know. Yeah, I must have went to his Instagram and I found it something because y'all know lately, since like maybe 2022, he really stopped like doing a lot of posting and all of that. He used to go live and stuff, and they kind of deleted all those lives and all of that. And I was able to, the thing about it is a lot of these vloggers still got a lot of his lives. It's like they're starting to pop up. And of how, you know, vocal he was, prior to like 2021. Okay. And I think he wanted to be a little vocal after 2021. Maybe, yeah, after they put that hit out on Young Dolph, because they definitely put that hit out on Young Dolph. Okay. That ain't no that's not even a debate. I mean, we passed that, right? Those that's not mentally challenged. So we moved past that, right? That's established that he was one of the top ones that put the hit out on him, right? We all in agreement with that. Cypress, I thought you was asleep. Okay. That was Yo Gotti must have called and woke Cypress up. Okay. He didn't die right away, John Brown. I mean, he didn't live long, but it wasn't instantly. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if they were saying, remember if they said he was, because when Marcus called, um, the dispatcher, he was still alive because the dispatcher that took his call was telling me, what he was saying. He was still alive when Marcus called. And that's why he kept running in and out. Hey, if I want to take this time, I saw where Justice for Dolph, saluted Marcus, and I want to take the opportunity to salute him too. I think that man was up under a lot of scrutiny from a bunch of people that would have tried to run and hide. They would have tried to hide behind a damn baby if a baby was in there. I've always said Marcus acted real fast. Okay. Marcus acted really fast. And I mean, his instincts immediately kicked in, right? It's just that he didn't have by the time he turned around when that first shot came through, um, I mean, they had a high powered weapon. His brother was already down, but he did spring into action really fast. It was just really sad, right? And for people to try and didn't even know everything. It was like, well, why didn't he do this to the car? Why didn't he do that to the car? They don't really know what happened. Um, that was a situation. Nothing beats an ambush, and that was definitely an ambush. And it was just really sad because remember, once we saw Marcus had his back turned to the glass, he was getting him a cookie. Young Dolph had his back turned because he was on the phone. So they shot him from the side. Okay. And by the time it shocked him, he realized what was going on. I mean, all he could do was fall from that high powered weapon, but he was still holding on because I think Cornelius was hitting him in the torso. Straight drop finished him off by hitting him in the neck, and then the person um that told him to make sure that young Dolph does not come out of there, or if he was waiting to see if they was gonna knock Cornelius back, and the coast was clear, okay, before he got out. So, um, anyways, hey, straight to the point. So, anyways, Yo Gotti was at the Super Bowl, and he was talking a little more. Normally, he's a creature of habit. He's usually a creature of habit, just like when people are killed, him they like to be out of town or whatever, and then they start posting that they're in other countries and shit like that. Um, he With everything that has been going on, I think Brorilla needs to be very careful. I think Brorilla, Scarface, I think she needs to be very careful because Gotti does not have a soul. Okay, he doesn't have a soul. And at this point, he probably feel like I've done all of this. I've killed, stole, destroyed, sold my soul to be in this position, and I'm not getting ready to let Brorilla stop me, right? Glorilla is like his. I mean, that's basically all that's what he's bidding on, right? I mean, she is. I think for the most, he's probably able to make investments and live basically off of her, right? And now I don't think that Glorilla and Brorilla is running a play. I think Brorilla is a hustler like most Memphians. Okay. Um Brorilla is a hustler, so she's taking the situation and getting money, but that's how most Memphians are, right? But the thing also is a lot of Memphians when they get money, they don't know how to keep it. They blow it. Okay, so what is she gonna do with it? We see that she said she been buying her gold chains and stuff like that. Like some people, made some really good points. Is she going to support her family with the money? Because she's definitely funny. So if she's and she's in the LGBTQ community. Okay, so they take care of their very own. So she has they're very loyal to their community. She could definitely go up, but I don't I she's probably more like a sister as it relates to business. You know, what is she gonna do with her money? Is she blowing it as she get it? Is she blowing it on weed? Is she giving, buying weed for everybody? Does she have the right type of manager? Because if she getting managers that's right around her, they talking about they managing her. There's something wrong with that. Okay, the industry gonna eat them alive. Um, how long is it gonna take for Gotti to start trying to block her? Okay, he might start trying to block her, or he might try to have somebody to kill her. Okay, because we know he ain't got no issues with sending folks out, right? With the promise of money, he realized that there are a lot of sick people that will do anything for some money, right? So if he promised them some crumbs, and Glorilla is his investment, he's this is what he's betting on at this point. He ain't got a damn thing else. Okay, that's why he transferring all that money his mama name, like as gifts. Not transferring it, but they think they can outsmart the government. We're not gonna transfer. Give it. We're gonna start giving mama and sister and kids and all of them millions of dollars as gifts. Okay. Just steady trying to play in the face of the government, but it's okay. But really trying to take the finesse route. You said she's trying to take the finesse route. Mm, it's possible, but if she, I could see it being a fad. She has the opportunity if she had the right types of people around her to make it into something lucrative. But I, I don't know. It's just it's. I think she should. What is she doing with her money? Okay. Other than she said she been buying chains. That's definitely one of the characteristics of a Memphian. Okay, you come from out the trenches, ain't got a damn thing. And I ain't trying to talk bad either, because y'all know I love my city. I love the people in my city, but somebody got to say it. Okay, I don't really know no other way to put it. You ain't got a damn thing, lacking ass jewelry, and then when the money dry up because the public has the attention. And I like bro real, okay? Because let me just say this. I know the thing with sisters. I'm talking about when they grown up in the house together. Cause see, I never speak to my half sisters again. That's different. But when they've grown up in the house together, like me and my sister that up in the house together, there is no way in the world, not even with my sister that I met, and probably not with them broads that because I grew up with them too. I just didn't grow up in the house with them. But with them, I think I would have, because I'm not them. They hide behind the Lord and they steal folks' money. They try to steal money and all that shit. But anyways, I think I would have an issue if they came to me and said I'm hungry, because I would give money to people that's standing on the street panhandling. Like I don't know. I just there are ways to do tax write-offs. Um I think the reason people get really tired of their family is because they don't there are no stipulations behind it as far as like growing wealth. Okay, listen, you need to get something going, and I'm gonna hook you up with a business class or whatever. I'll hook you up with an investor or whatever, but you need to get something going. And then I'll help you out invest in that so that I can get residuals. I'll send you to a business class or something like that so that you'll learn how to keep the business going. But I'll make investments. I will make investments in that. But I think the issue is like with a lot of family members, a lot of people, they don't do that because they don't know how to do that. I was thinking about Penny Hardaway. I used to work with his aunties at the sheriff's office. Okay, and Pro, he used to give them, was it $10,000 or she said, and then he just stopped. But then as she started to, tell me more, she was like, he was sending them the money in January. They had real bad casino habits. I know what she did. And she said, Penny used to say, dog, I know I just gave you, it was either 10 or 20. It might have been 20. It might have been 25 that he was giving, like the core people like her two sisters, his mama at the time. I believe his grandmother was still alive. He bought a grandmama a house and all of that they still have. It's still the family house. And so, but she said he stopped, and she's like, he used to say, dog, I know I just sent you some money. The video volume is breaking up. I don't know what's going on. Y'all, it's been something going on with my computer. I kind of believe somebody done hacked my computer. But I'm gonna go. I'm off. I'm off today, so I'm gonna take it and let somebody look at it. I'm gonna take it and let somebody look at it. Hold on for 1 second, you all. Yeah, am I still breaking up? Let me know if I'm still breaking up. Hold on. Um. Anyways, I don't know what would be the purpose of them wanting to try and I know when something is going on because they start deleting my subscriber computer and see what's going on with it today because it's definitely a way to enter your computer, able to hack. Like, can y'all hear me? Yeah, hold on. Am I still going in and out? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, now let me know if I'm still going in and out because we're gonna talk about your goddess today. We're gonna talk about it. It really ain't nothing nobody can do about it. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. Maybe we back on, maybe it's doing better or something like that. I don't know. Okay. But if it is somebody that's messing with it, Okay. The connection is fine. Okay. I was getting ready to say a prayer on you. Okay. On my stuff. And I'm being good this morning. Like we had a really good prayer on the prayer line. I really I God been dealing with me because I'm not a real big cusser anyways. I don't be wanting it in my life. Okay. Anyways, you guys, so Yo Gotti was at the Super Bowl. All right, let's get on into it because they're not gonna stop it. Yo Gotti was at the Super Bowl, and what we notice is like normally Yo Gotti is very so it's doing it again. Normally Yo Gotti is very what's the word that I'm looking for? Normally he's been very quiet. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Y'all give me a few minutes, okay? Give me a few minutes. Just give me a few minutes. All right. Let me see if something else is going on. Since you all are having a hard time with everything. Hold on, okay? I had to reboot the router. So if y'all can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, say yes. Let me just say a prayer. Dear God, if there are people that's hacking this live, in the mighty name of Jesus, God, you do what is necessary to stop them. Okay, do something to their fingers. Let something come up over them where they will know that they cannot come in this live and cause havoc. Okay. So that's a prayer that's been sent out into the universe because people are too evil. Sometimes you have to use I serve a good God. So I'm not getting ready to have people to be in the background and coming in here. Bitch, you gonna have a heart attack and die hole. You're gonna have a wreck if you driving, okay? Scavengers. Okay, you'll do anything for a dime, and you don't like to see people pray to be up in here. I promise you, bitch, you'll have a heart attack and die. And that's on my daddy's grave. Don't come in here playing with me. Okay. So let's go. Because we still gonna talk about your goddess today. Hey, can you all hear me now? Yeah, I apologize for going off. I just looked at my phone and they doing updates in my area. I know I could shout. Apologize. I was like, Lord, I was trying to get away from that, but so yeah, we got to work with what we have because they're doing updates, and so there may be some glitches while they're doing that. So, um, I had to look at my phone and look at the notification. So that's what's going on in my area. So if the internet is a little glitchy, it is because of that. Okay. So am I still breaking up? Am I still breaking up? If I'm breaking up, let me know. Or is it doing okay as of right now? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, I apologize for cussing. I thought somebody was messing with my stuff. Okay. Anyways, you guys. So looking at Yo Gotti, okay, I thought Yo Gotti had sent his people, and which is cool. I know he don't like being talked about, okay, and I can understand that he don't like being talked about, okay, but he never should have done what he did, right? I'm sure Young Dolph's family don't like being without him, right? So, I mean, it's better to be talked about than not to be here. They did the very ultimate when they took Young Dolph out. And right, this is like one of the main reasons why we consistently talk about this is we consistently talk about this is because they did the very ultimate. And right, and so looking at I was looking at his page, all of that, and he was, that's something he has not really done since 2022. Because like right after Young Dolph was killed, it seemed like he wanted to like throw shots and things of that nature. And then he kind of saw that it would not be safe, that the people were not going to be playing with him. I know a lot of people may think that MPD did a botched job, but I think people got to at least give MPD their props that within less than a month, they had identified Straight Drop and they had identified Cornelius and within you know in less than a month. So the people that actually shot him, they had already identified them and had put them into custody, right? So they really didn't do a botched job would be not having anyone, right? Straight Drop was tried and was convicted. Okay. There was some hiccups as it relates to Hernandez Govan. Cornelius maybe getting ready to be sentenced, I believe, like next week or something like that. It's still an ongoing investigation because, hey, for a reason, right? So, I think because of all of the narratives and things of the nature that was put out, I think people MPD did a botched job. No, they actually were able to get the people within weeks that actually there were some things because of how big the investigation is. It's on Friday, okay. Because of how big the investigation is, um, sometimes it seems like it's perpetual, but me, it's not that I want to protect MPD, and I do believe that they've done some lackadaisical stuff, but at the same time, I do know that investigations are perpetual. Now, I would have an issue if they said that, "Oh, okay, well, the case is closed." Now, that to me would be a travesty of justice. But the mere fact that the case is still going, it's still open, it's still an ongoing investigation, it at least lets me know that they're not trying to protect nobody. Okay. And so I think when people look at if you listen to Yo Gotti definitely has a really big disdain for the Memphis Police Department, although whenever he's in town. and um ask them to do details or protect around that are innocent bystanders, like if he's out doing something. Okay. So yeah, i.e., with Juke's funeral. Hold on, you all. Let me turn my eggs off, okay? Let me turn my eggs off. Just give Remy, don't start nothing. Okay. So he's at the Super Bowl game, and what I was saying, was, hold on, you all. Be quiet. Um, he seems to talk a little bit more when he's worried. We see that the stuff that's been going on with Glorilla and her sister, and I think that we look at it as being all in fun, okay? Because I don't have no issues with Glorilla. Me, I do things a little differently. If I had a whole lot of money, of course, yeah, I would definitely make sure that my family was not hungry. Okay. If we can go and stop and feed people that's on the street, I definitely would not allow my family members to go hungry. Um, but that's just me. But even with a Brorilla, as we call a Brorilla, Scarface, I think Scarface needs to be very careful. I don't think that Yo Gotti has a soul, right? Anytime that these people can pay and concoct a scheme to take a man out simply because of jealousy, to me, that's a person that definitely does not have a soul. Okay. Yo Glorilla is I mean, she's this is who they're betting on, to hold on. Okay, this is who they're betting on, right? To keep them rich or whatever. Of course, we already know they're taking advantage of her, right? Anyways, you guys, let me show y'all. Let's get to it. Okay. Hold on, let me see if this is his Instagram page. For some reason, he lately he's always, when you see him, he always look like he tired, like he been up on, putting something up his nose, all night. That's kind of how he looked to me, you know. Um, and so I did find a video, okay, of 2019 when they were at the Super Bowl. Okay, he was really green with envy and jealousy, especially around that time. If I could still pull the video up, okay. When people say he was quiet, that's not so. He wasn't quiet. I think people want to depict him how they want to. You can't try and stop me from eating and then tell me how hard that I could go. Okay. A lot of these dudes, like Hernandez, Govan, even Straight Dropping, all of them, if somebody is trying to stop you from eating, if somebody is in the background, trying to block you, you're going to have issues with them, right? You're going to have issues. So look at how I just went off when I thought somebody was trying to mess with my stream. Okay. You get on here and you show your ass. And that's what anybody would do. Okay. So this was 2019 Super Bowl. Okay.
In the Super Bowl, right? We already won this shit.
Now look at Pregnant Head right here. He ain't have all them millions then. He was still a local joker. He looked different. Okay. I believe he the one that had his nose and everything done. Okay. His nose ain't sitting over across his face like that no more. He didn't have that nose split in half. Okay. So after they did what they did to Dolph, that's when he started going up. Okay. I digress.
So we already won this shit. CMG champions, nigga. Black youngster. 55, you know. Money bag. Block boys, Block Nation. With the flag on it. You know what I'm saying? And that Memphis Grizzlies. We already won this shit. CMG champions, nigga. Yeah.
Now, that was in 2019. Okay. And you hear people say that he was quiet and he was doing the same thing. Just like Dolph was popping his stuff, he was popping his stuff. The only thing about it was he was tied up in 360 deals and putting his artists in the chokehold. Dolph had financial liberations and was setting that up for his artists too. Okay. So, and Rose says, ask him what those rings are. Anyways, let's look at this. Now ain't something done changed. Now he done lost a little weight, but I'm telling you, he different. Okay.
We really won.
Now, this was February of 2019. Okay. What was Dolph doing in 2019? Was he and Key Glock putting out those albums and consistently going up? Okay.
You know what I mean? Who really won the Super Bowl? Me and my team. We won.
So is that around the time that those charges and stuff was dropped? You have to think about what was going on in 2019. When was Black Youngster going to court? Okay. And okay, so they shot Dolph. So around 2017, 2018 is when they was trying to shoot him. Yeah, somebody do the research to see what was going on in 2019. What had they done to Dolph? Okay. So was Keon in jail and he got a few years? Was some charges thrown out? When were those charges thrown out on Black Youngster for trying to shoot up that van? Okay. Hold on. Um let's see. Okay, so in May of 2019, the charges dropped against Black. The charges were dropped, but this right here, it looks like to me that they did this video in February of 2019. um it says that the Mecklenburg County District Attorney dropped charges because there was no evidence that Black Youngster was driving or even present in the vehicle that fired at the SUV. Young Dolph didn't testify. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so in 20 so October of 2018, that's when Keon was sentenced. In October of 2018, something was going on because y'all know how pregnant he was. He on there, something happened. And he called this, he was just as bad. Okay, he was just as bad. He was sending them dudes out to go and shoot at the boy and trying to kill the boy. And then he would get on there and do shit like this because this is definitely a subliminal. Okay. Okay. Hold on, you all. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to pull up something. Okay. All right, y'all. Said he was throwing shade, rocks, hide his hand. Right, threw rocks and hide his hand. He always got people. I think it's so sad. This is the very thing that I'm talking about. Like how they go and get these young men that grew up in the trenches and stuff, and they don't have any. Hold on, you all. He says they were planning to kill him. Then the video depicts someone in camouflage being shot by a youngster. But he's looking worried. Like when he starts to post, okay, it seemed to me that's a sign of him being worried about something. He's one of those ones that definitely care about what people say. Okay. I think that Glorilla's sister, because you heard Glorilla's sister say that she's allegedly, joined the Illuminati. Okay. Um, they look at Glorilla as an investment, and I'm sure it's a lot of people getting rich off of her, way richer than she will ever be. Okay. And so I think that Glorilla's sister needs to be careful because these vultures, they borrow all of this money from the people that we don't see that really runs the record industry, and they have to rob their artists blind to pay it back. Okay. And so I think that she should be careful. But hey, is everything crumbling or is it falling into place? I tend to believe that it looks like it's crumbling, but I tend to believe that everything is starting to like fall into place as it should fall into place. You know, I really hate, and I really put a lot of emphasis on this because I was definitely a fan of Yo Gotti. Okay, I was a fan of his. I didn't know about Young Dolph music. I have been very honest about that because Young Dolph came in another era that was around a time that I was not even really listening to rap. I was really more into gospel music and stuff, old school music. And so since I started blogging on the case, I've started, kind of listening to different rappers and stuff again a little bit. But I'm really not a real big um, rap person. What I am is I'm a real big humanitarian. Okay. And I think that what they did to him was just not right at all. And I think it's even sadder because nobody could ever say that Yo Gotti is not talented. He has a distinctive sound. Like when you hear him rap, you know that it is him. And so it's so unfortunate that he went and got himself tied up in these 360 deals. Now it's something because Yo Gotti would mention Memphis a little bit, but even when Yo Gotti started to get a little traction, he kind of disassociated himself from Memphis, which is why a lot of people, it's like he's always had a disdain for his very own city. And I think that's why he was able to cause the ruckus that he did. And you had so many people like the Hernandez Govans, the Straight Drops, and all of them that would hey, that he probably he would never do anything for if not unless they were doing dirt. And as I said, it's funny to me, okay, because Govan is around my age, okay. I probably got him about a year or so. Straight Drop is young enough to be my son. Cornelius is young enough to be my little brother, okay. Um, and so you have these young these men, um a little boy, because Straight Drop is like a little boy to me, even though he's an adult. You have a young adult and you got an old ass man, okay, because Govan is my age, okay. And so it's to me it's really sad when you have these men that have the type of mentality that they're ready to involve themselves in all types of crime just for some money, just for some money. And it's so sad, as a black woman. And I think that's why one of the reasons why I go hard and I want for it to cut, because these men need to think about what they're doing. Like, you got kids and shit. Like, how you gonna want to be up under a man that only look at you as somebody as being disposable? Because basically, when they went to Govan and asked Govan if he knew about some hitters that could take out Young Dolph, they looked at all of them as being disposable. That's the reason why they immediately tried to push everything down to Govan uh, and that's normally how I go. They try to push everything down, right? They try to put everything on the shoulders of Govan and everybody else beneath Govan, because they felt like, look, I got too much to lose. Although they were the ones that actually wanted him dead. Govan and them just wanted the money. And so that's something that these black men gotta change. How in the hell you gonna do anything for some money? Right? You got kids, you got a woman, you got family. Because when I was down there at that court, all I saw down there around Govan was his mama now. A lot of women. That's what I saw. And I know one of them had to be his mama because she was looking just like him. Okay. So those were the people that I saw around him. I didn't see no street dudes or anything like that. Okay. His attorneys sitting out there laughing at the prosecutors. Okay. Because I was looking right at him. I was right around him. Okay. His mama and some more women. So it was a young girl that probably was his daughter. And maybe one man, because it was one real tall man that was out there. Because I sat on the bench next to him because I was looking for my keys. And he was real polite. And then I know he had to be with Govan because the lawyer came to the door. The white lawyer came to the door, not Manny, but the white guy that was with him, and said they saying for the family to come in. It was a real tall, thin guy. Okay. So I'm just letting y'all know I was around. Okay. So, but what ended up happening was you didn't really see any of those street dudes. And so it's usually your family and stuff when you get yourself into these troubles. Govan got his own ass in this trouble. Okay. Nobody put a gun to his head and told him to do it. But my point in this is, like, when you get to be our age, at what point do you say, no, I can't mess with Yo Gotti? I'm like Mr. N now. You trying to take up for a man who was in agreement. People need to understand Juke and Gotti are two of the same. Yo Gotti is in his position because he's more of the thinker. Okay. Even though Juke was the older brother, Yo Gotti probably was more of the thinker. He was more of the mastermind as it relates to stuff. His brother had the connection to the street, so he would let his voice to his brother and then what he wanted, and his brother would go back to the streets and make sure that it happened. So y'all want a connection with people that look at you as being disposable, because it ought to be some things that people ask you to do. You ought to be offended. Don't get me started. They ought to be offended. You gonna ask me to do that like I ain't nothing? Get your mammy to go and do a hit. Woo! Y'all know I started getting mad. I had them temper tantrums. Okay? It ought to be some things. There's some things that people ain't gonna ask me. They know because of the way that I carry myself. They know better than to ask me. Okay? Because some things that people ask you, you know from when they ask you that they don't think nothing of you. You garbage. Okay. Greatfest says Hernandez, Govan, and WAC 100 got a show that they are doing. Govan and two lawyers are supposed to go over all the paperwork from the case. A lot to be revealed that we didn't hear during the trial. I'm gonna tell you something, Govan. Okay. Okay. Well, cool. Cool. Govan didn't get himself out of it. Govan, what ended up happening was Govan had some incompetent prosecutors that did not um they didn't know anything about the case. Let's just say that they didn't do their research and stuff. And then here's the thing about it too. They gave him the wrong charges. They did. They gave him the wrong charges. Um, because there's a way in the world that they should have charged him with first degree murder. And you don't charge the people that actually um really conspired to do this with it. If they should have waited and they made the mistake of not of just charging him, because it did make it seem like that they was trying to push everything down to him. Why you gonna charge him and you wait to charge, Juke because you want to get Gotti with Juke? I think that was a mistake. If that's the case, they never should have charged him until they got enough to charge all of them, or they give him another charge lesser than that. I just don't think that was a careless move on the end of the prosecutors, right? Because I think they was kind of they wanted to be slick with that too. What if we don't get enough to get Gotti? So they was definitely gonna get Juke. But what if we don't get enough to get Gotti? They knew if they left Juke out a little bit longer, that was their connection to Gotti and the others. Okay, that was up there, and Goldman was not up there. He was in the middle. Okay. Kareem said Dolph family should have took the 10 years. Yeah. They should have taken the 10 years. But you know what? God does everything for a reason. God does everything for a reason. And I think we're gonna know what that reason is really soon. Okay. I think we'll know what that reason is. I feel like with what I feel like Govan did, I feel like he should have, 10 years was sufficient. 15 was sufficient. 10 years for his part and 5 years, he should have did 15. 5 years of being so damn stupid that you need to get 5 years of being so stupid. Okay. Because it ain't nowhere in the world that Govan should have been the liaison between Juke and those dudes. It never should have happened. You hear Govan sit up and talk about how Dolph and was cool and all of that. How Dolph was cool and all of that. He basically did it for money, and it just ain't cool. It just ain't nothing cool about that. He's old enough. He was way old enough to know better. You take a man's life and or you have some type of participation in being on this, getting this train going. And so, like I said, it ain't nothing cool about that. But the point of the matter is Govan and them should feel a certain way. Gotti and them were not gonna go and kill Juke. Kill Dolph. Even with Juke being a street dude, doing all the things that Juke had did in the street. He was not going to take the gun and go kill Dolph. You know why he was not going to do it? Because Juke felt like I got my family and I got too much shit to lose. Govan ass got a family. You know why? Because I saw it. I saw his mom and them down there at that court. Okay. So he didn't think they were important. So Juke them ain't gonna do it. But we'll go send some people out who life ain't worth shit. Because we know they'll do anything for some money and some fame. Some fame that Straight Drop wasn't gonna get anyways. Okay? He wasn't gonna get it anyways. Greyface says Dolph's family only agreed to what Mulroy advised. I tell you, when it comes to that, I get to I think about it, especially now since I'm learning more about the law and stuff, and I just don't know. I don't know. I know about the investigations. I'm learning more about how the law works, and it's just I don't know what to say. I don't. I just don't know what to say no more. Other than Black people get taken advantage of, even with a lot of trickery is played, even with families that are victims because they don't know the law. I just don't understand, y'all. I don't. Yep. Says Ed Greyface Mulroy is a moron. Dolph's family should sue Memphis as well for being totally inept. If Govan ain't gonna directly just point the finger at Gotti, I mean, what is he doing? Govan, I know you like my show. What you doing? If you ain't gonna try to fix it, okay? What you doing? You can't fix it because Dolphin is great, but at the same time, I mean, I don't really understand why he's, trying to save Gotti. I mean, there's no, because if Gotti had the opportunity, Govan is a liability to them. They're not getting ready to pay him no money. If they owe him something, he ain't getting it. He's a liability. Your God is looking over his shoulder, and the people too. Okay. At the first opportunity, what he'll do is, because Black youngster needs something from Gotti. At one time, he did. Okay, I'm talking about emotionally. Govan seems to like Black youngster. There's a relationship there. I can't prove it, but it is. Okay. Don't think that he wouldn't use Black youngster to lure Govan, and Black youngster gonna do it because emotionally he is tied to Yo Gotti, and he loves it when he shows him attention. Okay. I don't want nobody to take Gotti out. And that would be evil of me. I don't want to see the man dead. I'm not evil. I don't. But I do want to see him pay his retribution to society for what he did. And he was the mastermind in this. He was one of the masterminds in this. If y'all, I told y'all from the start, I said, y'all, if y'all think Govan paid for a hit, y'all damn fool shit. If Govan would have had 100,000, I don't even think he would have participated in it. Probably, you know. Well, I don't know. He might would have thought, well, I can give me some more money. Because if you think about 10,000 a piece, Like you getting you shaving money off of hit money. They give him 20,000 for introducing them to Juke. If what if how I'm saying it is correctly right. Um yeah. So well, Juke didn't have the money either, you know. And the reason that they knew that Juke didn't have the money is because they're able to um pool accounts and stuff to see the type of money that Juke deposited and the type of money that he had. Hell, well, he has some money put away. Well, goddamn it, why did they have to pull it out the CMG account if he had to pull away? Some of these folks, see, that's the type of I don't like. See, I don't like stupid people either. You know what I mean? I'm not crazy. I'm a little kooky. Okay, I have my little temper tantrums and shit. But people gonna have to start using their brain too. If Juke had the money, why in the world would they be getting money out of CMG accounts to pay lawyers and stuff? Hell, I was going to say they could have did it. I ain't gonna even say how they could have did it because these folks listens. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it like that the next time we're gonna do a hat. Oh, now you know these folks crazy. You know, you sit up and you want to kill somebody because you can't control your damn emotions. She said, I don't understand all the attempted hits on Dolphin. The law knows where they came from. Why couldn't tie them in? Because Young Dolph wouldn't testify against them. The reason Black Youngster's charges was thrown out, it wasn't because he had a good lawyer. It was because Dolph wouldn't even testify on him. He wouldn't say nothing. Okay. Um and and then they still hated the man. Black Youngster told on himself when he said somebody snitching. But Dolph didn't have to tell on him. He was so stupid he told on himself. But that's one of the they couldn't do nothing. They got Keon. Somebody might have told on Keon, or they had something to be able to connect him. He might have just pled guilty to keep, from the other people from going down in CMG. They might have been paying money, they might have got taxed. I think the folks was on top of Vato head a few months ago so hard. He about talking about he want to fish and live off of the land. They was about to run him crazy. Vato, anyways, I tell you. Does he still live in Memphis? Is he still out there fishing every day? He say he gonna live off of the land. Miss Muffet says sometimes the state will charge person without the victim testimony or pressing charges. He said, new deal, new money, new opportunities. I know what Gotti meant by that. It would be interesting. When was Key Glock and Dolph putting out that Dumb and Dumber and stuff like that? Because that it was blowing up. I think it was around 2019. So he's sitting up trying to pop his stuff because he was jealous, child. That's probably what that was. They had already done tried to kill him. That's how you know it's something wrong with them. They tried to kill that man all them many times, and God gave them the opportunity to abort the mission, and they wouldn't do it because their emotions and their jealousy would not allow them to abort the mission. Okay, they just meant that they was going to kill him. Okay, they meant they was going to kill him. It's really just messed up. It's two mixtapes. The Dolphin and Key Glock put out Dumb and Dumber around 2019. Let's see when Dumb and Dumber was put out, because it was real successful. When people get jealous, what they'll start doing is talking about what they got going on. I got this going on. I got that going on. Let's see. Let's see, Dumb and Dumber. Okay, so they released it July 26th of 2019. It had 22 tracks, and then they did a sequel. They put out Dumb and Dumber 2 in 2021. Doc was really popping it in 2021. In March of 2021, they put out Dumb and Dumber 2. Now we see why. We see everything that he had going on in 2021. Let's see, Dumb and Dumber was in 2021, right? March of 2021, they put out Dumb and Dumber 2. We saw what he was doing with Snoop, and he was just making a lot of noise. And they wanted him gone. Steve Mulroy is a Rock Nation plant. Rock Nation donates millions to his campaign. They sent him to Memphis to have a DA who would not prosecute Gotti after the Dolph. This had been planned for years. I think Steve Mulroy he was a professor over at the Cecil Humphrey College, Cecil Humphrey's law school, for 30 years. He was over there for 30 years teaching at the law school in Memphis. So a day before young Dolph's birthday, I tell you. They was up and CMF couldn't take it. Yeah, they saw that he was making a lot of traction. Cause remember now, Straight Drop, if anybody could pull up that post Straight Drop made, he says that when Key Glock and them were dropping that Dumb and Dumber, Dolph and them were being very successful. Remember, Straight Drop added Teasy and said that's supposed to be us. Now, was Teasy a rapper? Was Teasy supposed to be a rapper or something? I never knew that he was. So Teasy was supposed to be. Who was managing Straight Drop before Quet started managing him? Because somebody was managing him before Quet. Was it Teasy? Quet, you in here? Who was managing Straight Drop before you started managing him? Was it Teasy? Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Bishop from Juice says, "Oh man." And Rose says, they came to Boston. The venue was lit, especially House of Blues out here. Yeah, he was really, he really had a lot of energy. Quet got a son that's on CMG. Who? Bishop from Juice says, "Laugh out loud. It's a cold world. It's a cold game. Oh man, meat and potato." Bishop Juice. This is my first time seeing you in here. Are you a bot? or are you a human? Are you a bot or are you a human? Nah, that sounds like that's another vlogger that's trolling. You know, they do that when they mentally ill. Y'all hit that. That's another vlogger that's trolling. These folks be mentally ill. It show a cold world. He says, I'm human. I be Joseph. Um, but I be listening to Stan G. Oh, okay. Where you from, Bishop Juice? Where you from, Bishop Juice? I'm interested in knowing where you from. What city are you from? Emerald says, Bishop, if you a troll, I'm in outside of Dallas in Texas. Where about outside of Dallas? Where? Anyway, y'all, he looked like he worried to me. And like I said, I think that Scarface, aka Brorilla, Gucci Mane led Dolph to death without knowing. Well, here's the thing. Regardless of what went on with Gucci Mane and Young Dolph, Yo Gotti and them did not have to kill him. You don't go and kill a man about words. You know, people always talking about what Young Dolph did. Young Dolph was the bigger man. You sit up and you try and block my livelihood behind closed doors because that's what Yo Gotti do. He get everybody else to do his dirty work, and then he get a bunch of damn fools to go do his dirty work. He sends them out, throw them away when he get finished with them, and then um, he goes and he try to block Young Dolph and paying folks not to work with him and blocking, trying to block deals and this and that. And the boy already had money and was paying for his own stuff. So and he had Daddy O helping him. So they was able to pay their way through some stuff. But Yo Gotti, and regardless of what went on, Yo Gotti didn't have no business sending them folks over there to kill him. He said Yo Gotti ain't killed Juke. I mean, Gotti ain't killed Dog. That was all big Juke, but Gotti got Juke up out of there. Now, pregnant head, y'all know I don't care for pregnant head, but for some reason I'm just not bought on that he killed his brother. I do think he liked his brother. Hey Kroger, child, you can't get me to go in Kroger. It's too high. It's high up in Kroger. They don't have no deals. Emerald says Bishop Gotti didn't kill. No, Gotti didn't kill his brother. If I was a hater, I would say that. But I don't think he killed his brother. No. I wonder who killed his brother, though. I wonder if that will ever, come out who killed his brother. It seems to me that people know who did it. Because like I said, the day that it happened, some people was coming into my chat was saying who killed him. And they disconnected my chat. I don't know why they disconnected that chat with them folks saying who killed Juke. I didn't know who they were. I don't remember who it was. And that chat was up for a long time, and they disconnected that. Um, Because I was like, let me go back and look at who it was that them people was coming into the chat saying, and they were from Memphis that killed Juke. And it says this chat has been disconnected. That's weird. Well, I do believe your God to know what happened. He said, never been, we never fold, we never tell. Just don't send me to jail. That's the only thing that he didn't say. Just please don't send me to jail. He said the chat's still up. I gotta go to the what time is it? My mama gotta be at her doctor's appointment at 1. I'm trying to understand why my mama choose a doctor way out. I mean way, 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 way out. Oof. I think about the drive, my nerves get bad. Juke was talking about how small the chains was. That's a slap in the face to Gotti. I'm missing some comments. Wait a minute. So he said, never being, never fold. His brother was doing too much and all that hits expired. He said, are you aware? I didn't see your question, John Brown. Ask me again. I didn't see it. You said, am I aware of that? I didn't see the question. That dis-ease is settling into his body. Miss T, who all do you think Juke told on? Quit. I know he told on Quit and some more folks. He told on Quit and some more folks. That's why I can't understand why Quit mad at Teasy. He ain't mad at Juke. He threw some more, from my understanding, he threw some more people up under the bus, but he didn't, it wasn't his brother though. It wasn't his brother, and it wasn't his brother. It wasn't his brother, and you know, a few more he didn't. He threw some people up under the bus that they felt like was lower, and Quet was definitely one of them. Quet ain't no damn fool. He know that. Mr. N ain't have to tell me that, because I mean, everybody know that. So when Mr. N say that, he is telling the truth. They try to say he's not, as it relates to that. When Juke, if he would he have gone in the courtroom and testified against him? I don't know. I'm not gonna go as far as saying that. Okay. Mr. N say that he would. He was. But he definitely geared them to him. He directed them to Quit. And then shortly after that, I think that's when, they start turning Straight Drop and Cornelius against him. Too. Okay. I think Teasy was casualty. Teasy was loyal to Straight Drop. Teasy was loyal to Straight Drop. So I think some people got in his head too about Quit. See, that was an energy that was set up. Quit ain't no fool. And he get his old blockhead, Charlie Brown head on here and try to take up for Gotti. Don't get me started, because I'll get mad and start cussing him out. M. Rose says Juke and Quit was partners. They both hated Dolph. after he helped. They sorry, but in Cypress words, he had. Yeah, you could definitely tell that Govan had some disdain for Doll. You know, he because you see, Gotti them was the one that got them messed over, but it seemed like whatever the disdain it was that they had for young Dolph, he'd rather show favor to the person that really was helping to set him up. Is so he must have had a real deep hate for young Dolph. Quet said they wanted Gotti. They had Juke, although never arrested. Why? They could have gotten Quet for drugs alone, but Gotti and Juke only for murder. Yeah, like I said, Quet he was the liaison. I believe Cornelius when Cornelius say that they met up at his house and stuff. I don't know, those meetings that they was having at Privé. I don't know if they ever mentioned that Quet was at those meetings. Did they ever say that Quet was at those meetings that they was having at Privé when they were talking about killing young Doll? I don't think they ever mentioned Quet as being at those meetings, or did they? Somebody refresh my memory. Because you have to go back to, like, they had a consistent history. Like, I mean, if you the jury, you'll be thinking about that too. You go, well, dog, they was trying to kill him in 16 and 17 and 18, or was it 16 and 17, or and whatever. And so you didn't hear Quet mentioned in that. So I mean, you have to take into consideration, if you're a jury, like, they had been trying to kill him. You didn't hear them say that Mr. Govan was involved in this. So, it's the same people involved. You know what I mean? So he could not have been the mastermind. So any intelligent person would say that it had to have been the people that they're mentioning with the money. Because even before Quet was brought into the equation, they was trying to kill him. But Quet, with his blockhead, his old ass, he didn't have to get involved in it. And that's looking at it from the standpoint of a jury, coupled with a weak prosecutors who was sitting there looking like Beavis and Butthead, while Manny moonwalked on them, did the moonwalk on them. Okay? What other choice did they give the jury? They didn't do no research to back Cornelius up on nothing. The lady threw him an alley hoop. She said, Cornelius ain't gave me no money. If anything, he put it in my mailbox. If they had did their research, they would have known that Cornelius had said when in straight drop trial that they said they was going to put the money or something. He told them to put in Miss Fifi mailbox or some other. He said Quet is in the pictures at the meetings at Privé with Teasy and Straight dropping. Oh, so he was at the meetings. Okay. Um, he said, yeah, I believe Mr. N said that um that Juke went to 201 Poplar. And that's another thing, you know, child, I don't know what to think. All of that stuff is recorded. All they had to do was order the recordings to see what Juke and Cornelius had talked about during the visitations. I'm sure they wouldn't have outright said them, but did Govan name come up any when Juke went to visit him? Oh. I'm trying to figure out why my mama get her a doctor way out. Oof. And she will not get another one. M. Rose says, Anissa, yes, it was his birthday. I seen a video that was online. It was Teasy's birthday. So was that when is Teasy's birthday? Somebody tell me. I be tired. I don't be want to look up stuff. Somebody had to have told them that they had that meeting at Privé. When did they say, June or July 1st? July 1st through the 5th or something like that? Straight Drop probably told him that when he was talking. That's the only other way they could have known. Not unless Govan told him. Cornelius said something about meeting at Privé also. Oh, okay. Well, Cornelius may have told them. I wonder what it was that Straight Drop told him. Juke told him that Dolph had been into it with Trula and another gang. He threw them up under the. He really threw them up under the bus. When it first happened, the authorities stated the plot happened in July, and that's when the video took place. Okay, all right. What's the name of that gang? They said Juke said that Dolph had been into it with. Oh God, I can't think of it. The name knows. Shit. He said Drop told Cornbread to cut him loose and said him and Quet change clothes and say it was Juke and Quet. I don't think Dolph had been into it with Double R. I don't think he said Double R. He wasn't studying Straight Dropping them. He was not studying them, period. I'm going to just say that right now. I'm going to tell you something. Juke and God in them, their allegiance was to each other. Anything above, because they was going to do it to Black Youngster too. They was going to do him dirty. They was going to do Black Youngster dirty too. Just as they was doing Quit. He was going to be a casualty too. Well, I mean, he was involved, so he wouldn't have been casualty, but anything Juke and them protected anything from his cell phone up. Okay. They just took better care of Black Youngster than they did Quit. I tell you. I mean, I guess it would look like things are crumbling for some, right? And when really everything is just, I think the pieces are just falling into place. That's how I see it. Hold on, you all. I am text my mom to see if she got up. Is she ready? She need me to help her because her leg is messed up. And probably just need to go and help her. Lord. Hold on, you all. Okay, I'm back. Um, Greyface says, I think God is smart enough to know that putting it on quick could bring down CMG. I could be wrong, but I don't believe he was with Juke on that. M. Rose says, Big Scar funeral. Even Big 30 couldn't attend because tension was high. That Pooh Shiesty cousin, but he had all pre R&R. Too many folks are truly to even try it. I think God had told Juke to make sure to ensure that it did not. It was too late though. It did not come back on them and their label and their label. Greyface's Big 30 was with Scar the night before he died. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was with him. He said he was. Yeah, rest in peace to Big Scar. I hate that happened to him. I was listening to, I ain't gonna even lie. I was listening to and I don't even listen to that type of music. Um what's the little boy name? Pooh Shiesty. I was listening to Pooh Shiesty's song the other day. I kind of like the beat, the one that's called Just Out or whatever you call it. The one he put out as soon as he just got out of jail. What's it called? Just Out. I kind of like the beat. There ain't nothing I would just be playing and playing because I think the vibration of a lot of that music is just too low. But I like it. But it was some messages in it I didn't like. He said, what he said, tell the kids something, but and say yes to killing and say yes to murder. See, a lot of these young men are gonna have to be careful about the message that they put out into the atmosphere. They're gonna have to be jealous. I mean, not jealous, but careful about that. But I'm gonna tell y'all something that I want to do. I want for the Memphis City schools to. I would love it if the Memphis City schools would, or the Shelby County schools would have Key Glock to come and perform "Proud," a song that he had written after Young Dolph had lost his life, after they assassinated him. I think that would be so awesome. Stuff like that. I like. I think, that would be an inspiration to the children. Um, when you have positive music and stuff like that, because when you start bringing artists in, it's something though, like, because I don't hear Key Glock. I don't know though. I don't think he does. Key Glock kind of ride his own way. He do his own thing. You don't necessarily see him online talking about beefing, talking about killing people and all of that. So when you start bringing people in, because I really love the Memphis rappers, I do, and so I love all rappers that ain't out there, putting hits on people. But like Pooh Shiesty is really big right now. The kids will like him, but you have to think about the type of message that he's pushing. And I wouldn't want to put that in front of the kids because they'd be listening to all of his music. They listen to it anyways, but he said tell the kids stay out of trouble, say yes to murder or something like that. That's definitely not something, you know, um, that you want to push. I think with Jessica, the program that she's pushing, Jessica has been out there. She's gone, through a lot, and now she's in a really good position. So I think that she has a message for the young women, as far as because unfortunately, young girls feel like right now the thing is to shake your ass, sell your ass. I mean, that is a message that has been conveyed, especially at our young girls. They're selling their most precious body and all of that. And it really is just a sad thing. Child, my phone's ringing from the left to the right. Hello? Hello? Okay, I'm back. Um, yeah, Push Ice is too street, so you definitely can't put that in front of the kids. Um, what these young men need to understand is like the energy that they put out into the atmosphere is the energy that comes back to them. I'm glad that Pooh Shiesty is. It seems to be staying out of the way, taking care of his family and all of that. Um, I hope that he just continues to make his music and do his thing. I hope you don't go sign with Yo Gotti and get tied up in no slave deal. I can't understand why my phone's going off like they are. I'm off work. Shit. Mo got me feeling anxious. Um, it says Great Face. Someone told me I can't remember his son, but I will check. I listen to them all because I like trap music too, and my sons bump those YNs, and I've been listening to rap, so I don't mind. I like that song that Pooh Shiesty put out called Just Out of Jail. So I mean, I like it. I like the beat of it or whatever, and it looked like it's gone up. Emerald says he don't need to sign the CMG. I hope he ain't. I hope he don't sign the CMG. That's the look at this phone steady going on. Yeah, I hope he don't sign to CMG either. But you all, it seemed like I said, I think Yo Gotti, starts panicking when there's some bad publicity, brought at his label. He don't know how to handle it, and that murdering demon comes over him. That's why I said Glorilla's sister needs to really be careful, because that man got that $100 million and stuff that he got to pay back. He got to pay all that back, and he looking to Glorilla, to be sure that it's paid back. He gonna use her as a workhorse. He had one coming with Glow, but I didn't see it drop. Key Glock got one with Sexy Red, just come out with no problem. So if Shiesty ain't dropped that with Glow, something up. Um, Pooh Shiesty came out blazing. So I does he still is he still in the contract with Gucci? Like, is he still signed to Gucci's label? Okay, he's with Atlantic. Yeah, he don't need to get himself caught up in because Gotti can't do nothing for Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty would do everything for Gotti. So I wish these dudes would learn that Yo Gotti's name hold no nothing at this point. When you think of Yo Gotti, you think about the person that killed Young Dolph because of jealousy. That's what a lot of people see. So had a paid to do it. Like his name holds no weight. So I know people say I'm hard on. I'm not. I don't hate on him. Hating on somebody is saying they are not talented and this and that. I would never say that Yo God is not talented because he is. Like he's talented. He is. But he was jealous of Young Dolph. He was definitely jealous of Young Dolph. The Yo Gotti when Young Dolph was killed, it's not the Yo Gotti now. Steven said Mr. N said the truth. Nobody wants to hear from CMG artists who had anything to do with that. Glow is realistically their last hope. Yeah, that's true. So when he starts making video and stuff, all of that, he be nervous. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He's nervous. I wonder when, Black Youngster gonna start back doing interviews. Why don't Quit try to get an interview? I would love to see an interview with Quit and Black Youngster. I would look at that would be an interesting interview. Tyrone says, didn't they just sign Shiesty? I don't think so. I don't think Shiesty is signed to CMG. I hope he didn't do that. Shiesty don't need CMG. That's what these artists got to start looking at. What all Shiesty gonna do is if he go over there and sign with that label, he gonna put the feds on his back again. He needs to just do his own thing. He quiet. He ain't in nothing. Just do his own thing. He don't need to bust down his money 5, 6 ways. What is Moneybag doing? Moneybag has been very quiet. Has Moneybag put out anything? I agree, Blackout. She said Shiesty can see what is going on. He ain't dumb and he's screaming free Dirk. And why is he going to CMG that being investigated? Alabama Dreadboy says Moneybag on love with Ari and not the music. Says Moneybag is in Dubai watching Ari get treated like a toilet. The Moneybag is chasing Ari, trying to keep her legs covered. Yeah, Ari seems to be establishing herself. After that, Moneybag and Ari probably won't be together that much longer. I think Ari really loved G Herbo. That's what I think. I think because she interviewed that girl, fabulous stepdaughter. She was on her show, and Ari still has emotions. You could tell when that triggers her. Of course, G Herbo was cheating on her with that girl, but you can still tell there's still things that trigger her. I think I honestly believe that G Herbo still is in love with Ari. It said that Lil Baby gonna smash that. Yeah, well, I think Ari, be down to do anything for some money. Anytime she says she'll let people poop on her, she'll do anything for some money. She said for $750,000, she'll let somebody poop on her. I mean, what kind of woman is that? Oh, just the thought of it got me nauseated. Oh my God. It's really sickening. Well, G Herbo is engaged. I think he loves the other girls too. Emily's daughter. She gonna been and ran and broke. He said G Herbo was just on an interview with Ella May. He spoke on his woman. He don't want Ari. Well, he got engaged to the girl. Hmm. Anyways, y'all. Um, she said Jeeba Herbo got a better deal than Bag at this moment. Bag has 8 kids and Herbo has 3. Yeah, he definitely do. And Herbo seemed to be going up. G Herbo seems to really be going up. And he seemed to be working with quite a few artists because G Herbo just did a song with somebody. Didn't he just do a song with Moneybag? And he did I think he did a song with like one of Paper Route artists. Let me see. I had some more video I want to show y'all on Yo Gotti. Y'all know we always get started talking about everything and get distracted. Mm. Hold on, you all. Let me see if I can find it again. Hold on, you all. Okay, you all, like the commercial appeal in Memphis, that's a Memphis um newspaper did something on them. It says that Young Dolph and Yo Gotti feud breaking down the beef between the rappers. It says Hernandez Govan, the man police says planned the killing of rapper Young Dolph, is underway this week in Memphis. The trial, which started August 18th, comes nearly 4 years after Dolph, aka Adolph Thornton, was killed inside a cookie shop. Anthony Big Jook Mims, the late brother of Memphis rapper and CMG record label head Yo Gotti, remains a key figure in the court proceedings, with prosecutors again alleging he was involved in the unaliving. Prosecutors have claimed Big Jook put a $100,000 hit on Young Dolph as part of an ongoing feud. CMG representatives have not responded to requests for comments. Here is a look at the history of the feud between Memphis rapper Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. So, see, here's the thing, too, the mistake that they made. Everybody already knew that it was a feud between rapper Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. So why would they say go along with saying that Govan was the mastermind before they ever even charged anybody else? It would have been different if they had charged them all together. Okay, so 2014, the Yo Gotti and Young Dolph feud begins. The roots of the Dolph Gotti feud began more than a decade ago in 2014. Dolph, then just emerging as a mixtape artist, began saying publicly that he had turned down an offer to join Gotti CMG record label. Still, the Dolph Gotti beef remained a background issue as Gotti's star began to rise. Gotti, who got his start in the mid 90s as one of the city's quintessential street rappers, released a breakout LP, The Art of Hustle, in 2016. It debuted at number 4 on the Billboard charts, number 1 on the R&B hip hop charts, and quickly proved a breakthrough for the veteran MC. The album would go on to spawn a top 5 rap and top 20 pop single and Down in the DM that has been certified platinum. The record also earned the support of peers from Lil Wayne to Pusha T, who guested on the project, Kanye West, who performed with Gotti during a release party in Los Angeles. In the winter of 26, Dolph again alluded to Gotti and his decision not to sign to CMG on Twitter. He subsequently released his full length debut, The King of Memphis, which peaked at number 49 on the Billboard chart. The title alone was incendiary, seen as a direct challenge to Gotti's claim on the position. Though through 2026, the bickering was largely between Dolph and members of Gotti's camp, namely CMG signed artist Black Youngster, who threw a Dolph diss into one of his tracks and filmed a video himself prowling Young Dolph's South Memphis neighborhood, heavily armed. Gotti mostly stayed on the sidelines, and in September of that year, in a video, downplayed any animosity between himself and Yo Gotti. Between himself and Young Dolph. Well, he was able to downplay it because he decided he was just going to get people send folks out to do it? Why would he say anything when he could go get a bunch of damn fools and give them some crumbs to do it, right? I digress. Okay. Who threw a different neighborhood got him? Okay, most of the state. Okay. 2017, Young Dolph targeted in 2 shootings, injured in 1. At the start of 2017, it seemed possible that the whole Gotti Dolph affair might have been a winking feud manufactured by both men for publicity, though more likely it was Dolph's attempt to generate his own publicity by going after better known and more established artists. In February 2017, Dolph reignited the feud with a diss track that took dead aim at Gotti, derisively characterizing him as Ho Gotti. The song "Play with Your B" suggested he'd been intimate with the mother of Gotti's child. Gotti took a high-handed approach to the track, logging onto Twitter and noting that he wouldn't stoop to Dolph's provocation. I'm business partner with L.A. Reid and Jay-Z, he wrote, noting CMG's association with L.A. Reid run Epic Records and Jay-Z Entertainment Management Company Rock Nation. So he had to act like that he was taking the high road. So when he started signing with them, that's when he started getting a bunch of other damn fools to go after that. The commercial appeal, the thing about the commercial appeal is they always just let Gotti probably paid for this. Okay. He probably paid for this because in one hand, he said that Gotti's artists went after Young Dolph. Black youngsters started dissing that Young Dolph. But commercial appeal would not make mention that Black youngster was dissing that Young Dolph because his damn CEO had him doing it. More than likely had him doing it. Okay. Yo Gotti had been in the record business for way longer than Young Dolph had been in the record business. Okay. So Young Dolph was trying to get his foot in. I mean, even Stevie Wonder can see that. We see how Yo Gotti likes to sign people, come into partnership with him, and make money off of them. It's almost like a damn pyramid scheme. Okay. So you sign, you let me sign, and I'll push you. You got an affiliation with my label, and we'll make sure you eat, but I want to get a percentage. Okay. Then you sign somebody else, and that's how you get your money, and I get a percentage of that. Okay. Young Dolph didn't want no parts of the damn pyramid scheme. And so he saw that Young Dolph had a determination. He didn't want to, he felt like Young Dolph should have been honored. But you have to understand, these artists put out records and then they'll go to number 4, number 1, and then somebody else will put out a record in the next month. That's the reason why they look like shit, because they constantly stressed out to consistently, they have the pressure of constantly be reinventing themselves to get top records. So he put out a record that went to number 4. Okay, people jammed it, and then in the next 2 months they forget about it. If you ain't constantly reinventing yourself, there are always new artists and shit that are constantly coming out, right? So he knew if Young Dolph had a determination, he wasn't gonna sign with him. Okay, he wasn't gonna be a part of the pyramid scheme. He wanted to sit off and blaze his own trails. So he looked at that as being a damn problem. Number one, okay, I'm sure Young Dolph had already talked to him about independence. Okay, if they had been cool at one time. Yo Gotti can't be independent. He been owned. He didn't know the damn business. They took advantage of him, and he still owned. Okay, so Young Dolph ain't owned. He started signing some of the little artists that Yo Gotti would look to take advantage of and put up under him around the Memphis area. He can't do that if you got Young Dolph teaching them something different. He can't do that if Young Dolph teaching them about how the music industry really is. He can't sign them into the damn pyramid scheme. So he got a bunch of damn fools to go and kill him. Okay? It was more than just him throwing shots at him. Surely he ain't had his Tinkerbell ass in the ballerina class that long where his feelings get hurt about somebody talking about him. It was a bigger issue. he knew that the boy had the hustle to build and he didn't need him. So if he got the hustle and the determination around 2021, we see all the shit that Young Dolph was putting out. They put out Dumb and Dumber 2. They put out These Niggas Ain't Effing With Me. He did Rolling Stone. He did a concert. He brought all of his artists out. He did Snoop bands. He was producing and directing their videos, pop out. All this stuff he was doing in 2021. The boy had really put a lot of money behind himself, and he sought to silence him. He couldn't take it, and that's the reason why God gonna get his ass back, and anybody else that tries to protect that. Okay, Govan can get. I don't give a damn what him and Wack do. If he don't do it right, God gonna come knocking at his door again, because karma got a way of slow walking you back down. You would think that with Govan getting off on some shit that everybody know or believe that he was a part of, had some type of part in, that he be trying to do it right. Okay? He be trying to live his life right, either not saying nothing about it at all, but definitely not getting on here and trying to make the victim look bad. And that's what he been doing. Hell, after Yo Gotti and them tried to, don't get me started talking. Okay. Anyway, y'all. I don't even feel like fussing about it today. I got to save my energy for dealing with my mama taking us to the doctor. You know, these men try to get around here a lot of times. They try to get around here and talk about what they want to do. But I mean, a lot of these men they killing other men about women. That's exactly what's going on. They might not even want the woman. They just feelings hurt. It's just a control thing. Mm-hmm. Look at how he did Angela. Angela let Gotti mess up her damn image. He messed up her image, and then he went on back to Old Faithful, because the nurse babe ain't going nowhere. Okay, she gonna let him do whatever he want to do, and she gonna stay in the background, because whatever he paying her more than what a nurse's salary would pay her. Okay, so she been there all that time, Old Faithful. He do what he want to do, and then he come back to her, and she's probably living nice and driving nice. You know, he got her on the payroll. What's she gonna say? She's not gonna say a damn word. Hey, Tony. Now, I think Angela picking up the pieces and going on. Okay. She was surprised. Yo Gotti wasn't. A man that be putting out hits because he angry ain't no damn prize. That's a damn fool. But she was ready to play into that role. She had started trying to get gangster. They was talking about how she was trying to sound like she was from Memphis, trying to have a Memphis accent instead of the New York accent. I know that was a tragedy. She did have an image. She had a better image than him. Cypress. He said, "God bless Angela." Got it. Yeah, I'm sure she was signed to a. She had a contract with Gotti. I mean, she was supposed to do it. He was supposed to pay them taxes up, give her money to invest in some businesses and stuff, and all of that. Okay, he did what he was supposed to do. And then when the contract was up, I guess he decided she was too expensive. He had the opportunity to do everything he wanted to do to her, whatever imagination that he had about it. He had the opportunity to do that. I hope she broke the bank on him too, because I'm gonna tell you something. Angela had to have known ain't nowhere in the world that I would be with a damn falling in love with a man that has had some type of fascination with me. If he's had this fascination and this crush, he just want to see what she do in bed, like most men. So I hope she did sign a contract, and she better have broke the damn bank on him. Hell, if she was, I mean, he was doing whatever he wanted to do with her, and then once he had got enough, he didn't re-sign the contract. Okay, and it seemed like to me at some point she fell in love. She didn't play the game right. She should have known better than that, especially with a damn Memphis man. Hell, I know she was looking at my damn shows. You don't fall in love with no. Look, don't get. It's a lot of Memphis. Okay, because I don't want to upset the Memphis men, child. Because it's a certain way you have to handle them. Okay, it's a certain way you have to handle them. Uh, when they obsessive, you put the police on them. Okay, when they be obsessive, lying like you done been with them and won't stop. You put the police on it. It ain't no help for nothing like that. Okay, so you puts the police on that. But those that you really mess with, that you done been with, and it's a certain way you have to handle them. Okay, she didn't do it right. I hope she broke the bank on him. And she don't need. she, she, she's. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have signed no damn no damn NDA because I got to be able to talk shit when it's over. I got to be able to talk shit when it's over. And being a Memphis woman, even if you sign an NDA, you're gonna talk it. I got to be able to talk shit when it's over. Okay, if they do the wrong thing, you got to be able to put it out. You think you're gonna do me dirty and I not say nothing? I can't get on my platform and air you out. Okay. It don't work like that. That's if I want to air you out. Okay. He said that's what his baby mama did. She told Dolphin, yeah. She did. She definitely did that. I mean, he tried to act like he didn't want his baby mama. He should have been trying to act like he did want her. Why his feelings get so hurt about that? That's what these men do. Don't do that. You wouldn't want a man to talk about it. Well, sometimes Tyrone, these men could be so dirty. And you're right, because for the most part, like when I with relationships, my friends say it all the time. And I'm being totally honest now. This is total honesty. Like I be playing a lot on here, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. When I'm in relationships, most of the guys have issues because they feel like, well, you try to hide me. I don't. I like to try and keep the guys that I date for real private, especially that's any like that's just how I'm real protective of stuff like that because I feel like once a lot of women start knowing who you date, they don't even want the sucker until they find out, oh, that's who she dating. They start trying to find them on Facebook. Women have obsessive personalities like that. Okay, they start looking at you, and I don't like her show anyway because she thinks she's something. I'm a request him on face, they'll start trying to code him or something. You know what I'm talking about? You know, why bring attention to stuff like that? So that's just something I don't do. I'm very private when it comes to stuff like that. So even like, you know, I hate to keep bringing the man up, even, but he brought it up first. Even with Parker, like Parker used to have issues because he went telling folks she would be on live. I would be sitting right next to her. Yeah, he would. You know, he used to talk about when we gonna go public. What are you talking about? You here with me? Why you need for everybody else to know that? If you sitting here with me, that ought to be enough for you. Shit. Why you want everybody else to know? I don't like men that do stuff like that because it's like now I feel like you're trying to exploit me. Those and contrary to what one, I ain't never in my life off of YouTube met a guy off of YouTube, okay, except for Park. Anybody else telling a lie on me, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Anybody else is telling a lie on me. Folks be sitting up trying to talk about. I be talking bad about Parker. That is I didn't say anything about Parker. I did not say nothing bad about him. Parker started with me first. Parker did that. He's very emotional. He is very emotional. He said, show your man out. It wasn't no secret. It just wasn't, it was not anybody else's business. Me and Parker used to go walking this shit by the water. Why do we need that? We be holding hands and everything. Why did I need to get on YouTube and tell everybody that ought to been enough for him? He walking by, he living in an expensive neighborhood that he ain't have a damn dime to pay for. And that's the reason why I had to send him home. I wouldn't even do him like that if he had not tried to. Parker shouldn't have did what he did. He should not have done that. He should have just went on and just marinated on some stuff, and just he should have understood. Like he should have understood, but he didn't. What he wanted to try to do was he tried to destroy me, and then he went. I'm trying to figure out how this stuff happened, how he got into, did he go to my enemy? But I'm hearing that some folks went to him and lied on me, and they know he was emotional to try to get him to say some things about me. I don't know. I don't want to I ain't trying to look into it. But I mean, he wanted for me to claim him. I claimed him. I do. I claimed him. I did. We did try to get something going. Anybody else? It ain't nothing never happened. I'm telling y'all that now. Ain't nothing. I didn't even know men still lie. I've been with her. She tried to give me some money. Is you crazy? Is you crazy? I ain't never in my life. Oh, that makes me mad. Paid damn man. I don't want one that look like he want to be paid. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that men still lied about being with women, especially when they're in their 40s. I just did not believe it. I thought that that's something that they did when they were teenagers. And Rose said, I wonder who. I ain't even mad at Parker no more. I mean, the thing about it is, I was never really mad at him to begin with. I felt a certain way when I dropped him off at the bus stop. I remember I dropped him off at the bus stop and I called Diane. I was very emotional. I was like, Diane, like I dropped him off at the bus stop. I was like, was I wrong? Like, am I wrong to do him like that? Like, I felt all of these emotions. I was like, but I need for him to get himself together. Like, he didn't see. I just had too many emotions going on. And that white lady called me, she started ringing my phone. And then I was scared to go. Like, it was just a lot of stuff going on. I had a lot of emotions going on. And it was just too much. And I would never have even aired him out. It's a lot of stuff that I haven't even said yet. Like, I think for me, I was just going through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And um we all go through stuff. When we're going through stuff, our defense is down and we allow things to happen that should not have happened. Number one, I should have stood up and said, no, you cannot move to Memphis. You just can't do it. But he was dead set on it. Like, within months of talking to him, he was just like, I'm moving to Memphis. I'm moving to Memphis. Like, I need to be near you. I was like, well, I don't think that's a good, you know. But anyways, it is what it is. Like, that was a year ago. And like I said, the only thing about it was like, uh, I didn't think anybody ever knew about him until I do appreciate Magnane Mace. And it kind of slipped out one day calling me and was like, Mr. Parker going from person to person on the internet, just like trying to dog you out. I was like, are you serious? Because actually bust out and said, and whatever you do, don't talk to Parker no more. I said, what? Because it shocked me. I was like, what you mean? Why you bring Parker up? Like, what you mean by that? How you what? Because I mean, I had never not said anything about it, and so that's when he just kind of let it out, and then he told me, but it was just messed up the way he did it, and like I said, I still have not played the recordings of that lady, all the things that she was saying about him, and then like after he left, I went and I did a thorough background check on him, and I see why. At that point, I was like, dog, like, I'm an investigator. How did I don't never let nothing slip. Like, I don't never get caught slipping, really. And I was like, how did I let this get by me? Um, and so it was more than what that lady was saying. The reasons, that he had on his background. I was like, Lord Jesus, like, I tell you. So hey, but I all the best to him. Like, I moved on past that stuff. I've been moved past it. I guess I was just really in shock that he would do. um that I guess I was in shock that he would do with all the skeletons he got in his closet. And that lady was not lying on him. She wasn't lying on him. She was not lying on him. Um but hey, I wish him all the best though. I do. I wish him the best. I don't think he ever went on Cypress Channel and said he started hanging out on Cypress Channel. I don't think he said anything about me on Cypress Channel. I think he was trying to get some people to all they wanted was to see what kind of information he might have had on me. I mean, it ain't nothing on me. Nothing at all, child. So that's right, Black Barbie. Can't have him around Juju because I'm telling you. And the puppies, absolutely. Oh yeah, and Rose, yeah. Oh, they was real glad, you know. Um, that's what I'm talking about when I say obsessiveness. People are obsessed. They look for dirt. Parker didn't have no dirt on me. He didn't have any. But I got a lot on him. He didn't have any on me. Um, but you know, those who was trying to get dirt on me, they got a lot of dirt on them. You ain't heard me threaten to say nothing about it at all. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna sue some of them, and I'm gonna put the police on the other one. Okay. I don't like people that are obsessive. Hold on, Cypress. I'm sending you the thing. I just sent it to you. I mean, but that's almost like a dead horse or whatever. Like I said, I don't have no. That right there. That's that's the, that's past. That's nothing. I think he should have just gone on with his life, you know, or basically just got himself together. Because that's the only thing that I wanted him to do. Like I just wanted him to get himself together. I couldn't carry him, and I felt like that's what he wanted. I've never had to carry no man. The men that I've dated would not even have allowed that. I don't know how to do it, never will. Okay. It's different if I'm married to a guy and he something happens, but I've been married to him. I ain't gonna marry him unless he could take care of me. Right. And something happens, life happens, and now I gotta, you know, that's what you marry somebody, you don't just leave your husband because something has happened, he loses his job or something happens with his health. Of course, I'm gonna take care of my husband. I'm not that type of woman. I mean, I'm a wise woman too. I know how to save money and stuff. So, but I am not gonna get a man that I gotta take care of. That's not how I was raised ever. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want a man that I gotta be. He think he gonna pay half of the bills. I don't need no damn roommate. Okay, I need a man that provides and protects. Okay, and in return, I be a Proverbs 31 woman. That's it. That's the finale. That's it. That's how it's gonna be. I think people get into relationships and they go half on everything. Hey, I ain't got nothing against what people decide to do in their household. I'm not I'm not gonna do it. That's just it. That's it. I could live by myself. I'm good. Like it's not like I'm trying to force somebody to marry me. Like everything. I think I was telling my mama. I said I remember when I was growing up. You know, I was raised traditionally. Like I used to hear my grandma and them say, especially because they came from another time, they got husbands and stuff that could take care of them. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I used to always, because of how I was taught, I was like, I was taught, you get a husband that can provide for you, that could give you help to give you a good life and all that. I told my mom, I said, but I think about now everything that I ever wanted, I've given myself. I've given myself. And I think a lot of women get caught up in that. They sit and they wait for some man to come in on a knight in shining armor because that's kind of what we're taught. And they kind of wait for that. I wish I could just give me a man. I know I be joking sometimes. I wish I spoil myself. So, I mean, I'm not getting ready to let somebody come in and I start doing worse. And the issue that I had with Parker is Parker didn't care about no money because that white lady that he had been with let him did everything he wanted to do, and he wasn't gonna do that up in here. You don't put no damn clothes before you put bills around here. Parker was still didn't have no issues with borrowing money. I don't borrow no damn money. If you work every day, you ought to take care of your money and put your bills and stuff. That's priority. You gonna borrow money for and to pay bills because you want to spend it on clothes? I'd be a damn fool to let somebody stay around me like that. I don't borrow no money. You have to take care of your money and pay your bills. Even if you ain't got but a little bit left, you send them bills paid, and it ain't gonna be no little bit left. You supposed to be constantly putting yourself in positions and getting training and getting little odd jobs and shit so that you could always have something going on where you can do what you want to do. That man came to try to drain me. He had me fucked up. What's up, Cypress?
Hold on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Don't let them get you started today.
These women got to be taught something.
Well, they ain't learned by now. They gonna be forever low.
And don't get me wrong, Parker, all right. It's just that Parker got some low down ways, and he didn't do that right. Because I didn't say nothing about that damn brother when he left. Okay, I knew he was going on back to that lady. The issue that I had was she had been calling me every day, and I felt like I said she been making a damn fool out of his Sambo ass and everybody else because she thinks she's smarter than black people. I said, this lady thinks she made a fool out of me. So everything I did was at her. But him being the damn Sambo, Chicken George that's on the damn slave farm, he decided, since you sent me back, I'm going to take off of this black woman and this white woman. That's the reason why I slam dunk both of their asses. Okay? He know everything. He be in the bushes probably. He know everything I said about what she said is true. But he ain't going to confront her about it. You know why? Because he need her to take care of him. That's a man that needs to get himself together. You laying up with a white woman every night that think less of you and your damn kids. I don't want him. Okay? But it's the truth. I developed a relationship with his oldest daughter. That white lady talked about that girl so bad, it was ridiculous. And then it went back to what he told me. Well, she said that she didn't like, she wanted better for my daughters. And so she don't really talk to her because she wanted better for my daughters. This white woman looking down on your damn daughters gonna tell me they getting welfare and food stamps. Okay? They living off of the government as if she better than them. And she still married, laid up over there with him. How she thinks she better than them? Okay, because she was married when she had kids, but she's still married and over there with him, and she thinks she better than his damn black daughters, and thought that she was gonna talk about him to me, a black woman, with their own welfare and food stamps, living off the government. It's just so sad, and having babies, and none of them are married. Lady, you garbage. But that Sambo jumped his Sambo ass, his slave ass on the internet and came out the damn black woman that really tried to let him see the damn light. All I did was try to pump some fire in him. I'm on the go. I'm constantly getting shit. I want to be rich. I got a damn winner's mind. When I came home, I was trying to help that dude. I didn't try to keep him stagnant. He didn't have the mentality. He wanted me to do it all while he sat and looked at a podcast with Joe Budden on it. He had me fucked up. I don't play like that. Okay? I'm going to call my friend and borrow some money. I said, why are you still borrowing money? Why are you borrowing money to buy Ralph Lauren clothes? I couldn't build no life with nobody like that. You constantly owing people. I don't owe no damn body. I couldn't live my life like that. I couldn't. I don't live my life as that's a broke person's mentality. I ain't rich. I ain't got a lot of money. But I don't live like a fucking broke person. I don't have a broke person's mentality. Well, I'm going to get what I want and just borrow it from somebody else. Now you always stand in debt. No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that one. Because don't nothing come before these bills around here. And you ain't going to be up under me if you don't think like that. You think I'm going to let you have me stressed out? Okay. His slave master had him on that farm too long. She got him totally messed up. And he ought to be ready to take that damn shitty pamper he got on off. Okay. Because anytime you tell a dude, okay, well, we got to get you your licenses. You ain't got no license. You don't have no driver's license. I never knew a car that wouldn't start up without a license. I said, you can't live in Memphis and drive without a license. They'll take you to jail. Aren't you a bail bondsman? You can pay to get me out. Y'all think I wanted something like that in my life? Hell no. The mentality alone was nauseating. Because, bitch, I'm a winner. If you're around me, you're going to come up. Because I'm a winner. But you going to work. Okay? You going to work. Okay? When I talked to that lady, the lady said, well, good luck. Because he ain't getting no job. So good luck to you. I said, why isn't he going to get a job? She says, because of the charges I put on him. He ain't getting no job. I can promise you that. I was just listening to her. So I didn't tell him that I was talking to her. I was talking to her because I needed to see the extent. I was trying to mess with the dude as a black woman the long way. So I'm listening to this lady talk about, because she thought I was slow like him. Talking about all the shit she had did to him. And I was like, well, at least I know how to help him to do this. I ain't gonna tell him I'm talking to him. Sometimes you have to go into the enemy's camp to see what they got going. So you'll know the extent of the damage that they've done. I ain't no damn fool. I do's this all day, every day. And I was trying to help that brother for real. And so, anyways, I said, well, listen, you got to get your background expunged. So, anyways, he started applying for jobs. And I said, well, you know, I had talked to my uncle, gonna get him a job at the hospital. He ain't had no driver's license. He didn't want to work at the hospital doing security. Talked to one of the police officers that's retired that I'm really good friends with. Work over there at the Peabody doing security. They was gonna hook him up. He didn't want to work over there. He said they was gonna make him cut his beard down. He thought he had the luxury to tell me what job he wasn't gonna take while I pay all the damn rent I pay over here. Okay. And so while he sit up on my balcony and look and graze at the river all day and eat and smoke cigarettes and then at nighttime looking at how the damn bridge light up. It's beautiful too. Okay. Talking about he want to take pictures of it for his podcast. So then when he would apply for jobs, he wanted to apply for places like Dillard's and Macy's. I said, why are you applying for department stores? They don't pay no damn money. You can't live like I live and work at a damn department store, not unless you're going to run the motherfucker. Okay? And so that's because he wanted to be able to get the Ralph Lauren clothes up in there. So he went to a interview out at Wolf Chase. I had to take him out there. That was gonna be a problem too. I had to take him. He ain't had no car. And so he walked out and said, I got a job. They offered me the job. I said, they offered you the job. I said, well, good, I guess. Yeah, they offered me the job as the manager. I said, okay, good. They got to do my background check. I said, they offer you the job before they did your background check? Just lying for no damn reason. Yeah, we're going to do the background check. I already told them everything. I said, okay. Weeks go by. Have you heard anything? No. I said, don't take that long to do a background check. So I told him, I said, well, see what's going on. They recanted not recanted, but they took the job off of back, he say. After they looked at his background. I said, oh, okay. He started applying for he wanted to get into a damn clothing store. I guess because he thought he was going to be able to walk up in this motherfucker and tell me that he had left his check there buying clothes. And that's when he was going to get a strong right hook. Okay. Because I don't play that. But see, I mean, I wasn't going to hit him or nothing. I don't believe in violence. The white woman had already told me he liked to whoop ass, but he wasn't going to whoop mine though. Okay. Because I was laid for him to ever try it. He wasn't going to whoop mine. I had some for him. Okay. And so, anyways, yeah. I tried to help that brother. That's the reason why I feel a certain way about him getting on here, going to the enemy's camp, letting dude lie to him. Like I'm hearing, like me and him had been together. That dude, no, I ain't never been with no dude out of Memphis on no podcast. Not unless you're talking about Gangsta Pat. He got a podcast. I've been told y'all that was my man. That was my boyfriend for real. That's the only one. And I don't think Pat be on his podcast that much. Anybody else telling a motherfucking lie. Okay. They tells me they was trying to get up under Gangsta Pat too. Gangsta Pat be talking about this. I don't give a damn what Gangsta Pat talk about on his page. I ran Pat. I ran him. And I got whatever I wanted to get from him. You better ask somebody. So we let Pat sell his image. He do a good job with his rapping. Pat is a real good dude. Okay, and I loved him too. I'll say that. But I ran that. And Pat was a real damn man. Okay, he was good in everything he did. All right, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's the only man that's got a podcast that out of Memphis that I ever dated. And we was together on and off for 5 years because I quit him every other day because I got pissed off at him. Okay, but I sure did love him. I don't hide what I do. So he gonna say, yeah, you know, I'm a pimp, I'm this and I'm that. It's funny to me. I mean, that's y'all go. Anyways, it's something when you know the real person. Never cussed me out, never raised his voice at me, never tried to hit me, never argued back with me. Pat ain't never in his damn life in the 5 years that we was together on and off. Pat never argued back with me ever. And he always believed in doing something to to make some money. When you see potential in a man, when he doing right now, when he was talking about, baby, I got a passion for working on cars. That's a passion. I said, I'll tell you what you do. What you need to do is like when you get your royalty checks to shit, start going online and buying cars and stuff, and then go on YouTube and stuff and start figuring out how to fix these cars. Like YouTube will teach you everything. Ask me if he's doing it. That's what a real woman do. That's what I tried to do with Parker, to impart some shit into him. It ain't what a person got, it's how hard they willing to go to make sure that you good, because no real man is gonna want to put a fucking burden on a woman. Okay. And what I saw with Parker was he was comfortable with doing it. He had been in a relationship where a woman said, I did everything for him. He couldn't survive without me. He depended on me for everything. I'm a different type of woman. That ain't what I want. I don't want a man to be handicapped so he'll need me so I can control him. That's not how I roll. Okay. As a matter of fact, I don't want him if he ain't got nothing. I mean, that's just it. It ain't. I mean, why should I? I don't want him. Anyways, don't get me started. Parker should have kept it. Parker should have did it differently. I bet you when he thought that he was taking up for that white woman, he didn't know that I had on audio and she was talking about him like a dog. And her sister posted on her Facebook page that he was a nigger. And he's so damn stupid. He told me her whole family racist. She told me her whole family racist and prejudiced, but she's not though. Cause she laying up with me. I'm the first black man she ever been with. I said, oh, okay. That ain't what her husband said. Her husband said she had a habit of telling black men that they were the first. That's what her husband said. It kind of made him go crazy. The same way it made that damn fool over there go crazy. Okay. See, when she thought she was making a fool out of me, she needed to understand that I wasn't none of Parker. Okay. And I wasn't no damn fool because I understand how vindictive her kind can be. That's the reason why I asked her, do you mind if I record you? Because bitch, you weren't gonna lie on me, ho. Everything was gonna be recorded. Maybe she forgot she told me I could, but it's all on audio. Then she tried to say, she tried to threaten me. Bitch, everything is on record in the phone. The first time you reached out to me because you was everything. But because I knew she didn't have no damn soul. Okay. I knew that she would try it. And that's why I kept a trail. Because, bitch, when you tried to, like, you sought my family out, bitch, you sought me out, ho. I wouldn't have never known who you was other than hearing Parker talk bad about you when he would try, okay, if you had not reached out to me. But her being true to her nature, she thought she was going to flip it until I told her, bitch, I got them receipts. I bet she never said another word. You're not going to do me like you do Parker. He the damn slave, bitch, not me. Well, in the state of Tennessee, you have to ask people, if you can record them. It would be, you have to ask them. Now, it's different in Atlanta. Their state laws are different. She was just ready. Okay, she was just ready. She I guess you want to say she told me that she couldn't record me. I mean, my sister and my daughters I had you on speaker. They was listening when she said that I could. We could have went to court with that. Okay, so I had witnesses. Okay. So what he should have did, he should have went back to the slave farm and just settled back in and left me alone. Because I had my own healing process that I had to go through. I tried to give that brother some grace. When I saw that he wanted me to carry him, that he wasn't ready to jump on board running, it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. Okay. But anyways, like I said, I don't have any issues with Parker. I mean, he did what he wanted to do because that's what he's used to doing. He used to doing that. But he was coming up against a different kind of sister. Okay. I ain't saying nothing for a long time because I was in my grief counseling classes. I was getting myself right with all of the mental stress and anguish that I had carried for a couple years, right? For 2 years after my dad being dead. My dad passing away. So I was dealing with all of that. And I'm so happy that I had a support system to help me deal with that. I mean, but I'm good. I'm okay now. I mean, I got through that. I still do my grief counseling classes, but I'm on the other side of that. So Parker, I got time. Okay. So what I'm doing now what I was supposed to do. I couldn't do when he first did it. Okay, because I was in my healing journey. You cannot punch me and tell me how hard to hit you back. And you punch me first, Parker. Because I ain't do nothing to you. Okay, didn't talk about you, didn't say nothing. Anyways, y'all, where Cypress go? What happened to Cypress? When he up here? I forgot. All these folks getting these government grants and stuff, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm getting ready to tell y'all what, if y'all want to start a business, and I'm being honest. If y'all want to start a business and y'all want to get, but you got to do it legitimately. If you want to get some money, make a lot of money, get into the daycare business and get into the home health care business, where you start a business and you go in and you sitting um with older people and stuff, like a sitting care business or whatever it's called. That's where the money is. But now they have plenty of like government grants and stuff like that, where these people that own these daycares and stuff. But now there are a lot of stipulations. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to hire people, because see, what folks want to do is they just want to hire a body and pay them the very least. You're gonna have to get people and pay them a decent salary, get decent people. And if you um and you're gonna have to do right, because I'm telling you now, anything that as it relates to the government, Trump has put a hit on them. The feds is on them deep. Why in the world y'all see them going after all of these foreign doctors and all doctors, but especially the foreign doctors that has been overcharging the government, like Medicare insurance? There is a hit on anybody that is misusing any funds that they are getting from the government. I'm telling you that right now. The feds is looking at it, gonna be on top of your head. They indicting them all day, every day. It's out there for you. I'm giving you a drop. But if you're gonna do it, you better do it right, or else your ass gonna be in jail. Rest in peace, Young Dog said he's still alive. Who's still alive? Who's still alive? Little Miss Muffin. So rest in peace, Young Dog said he's still alive. Miss Muffin. Is Miss Muffin still in here? Yeah, I'm gonna get off in a few minutes. I gotta go get my mama. Oh yeah. Right, right. And rest in peace, Young Dolph said that too. I remember rest in peace, Young Dolph says that when um Dolph was able to talk to Marcus or something like that, told Marcus to call their mother. He told Marcus to call their mom. Yeah, that's what rest in peace, Young Dolph said. That Dolph was still able to talk a little bit. He told Marcus to call their mother. Now the dispatcher that actually took the call Marcus had called when Marcus had called 911. She took the call. I talked to the dispatcher that took the call, and she says that when he called, you could tell that he was just in fear. You could tell he was he was like in. I mean, anybody would have been. She was like, it was just like you could hear pure fright, and how just like how it was just sad. She said, but I do believe that she also said that when she was talking to him, that she could hear him uh talking to saying things to his brother too. So and then he started pacing in and out of the cookie shop. I don't know if his brother had stopped responding to him at that point. I don't know, because what he was trying to do was he was trying to talk. He had called the um he had already called 911. Then he probably did what his brother told him to do. I don't know, John Brown. I don't. That's true. I don't know, but there was a young man that used to come in here. Um, Rest in peace, young dog. He ain't been in here in a long time, but he told us that, that young dog was talking to his brother, told his brother to call mama. When the ambulance got there, I do believe he was deceased because that's what was in the report, right? That when paramedics arrived, or when the police arrived, he had already expired. Well, I mean, I don't think he died right away because remember now, um, Raven says that when her dad pulled up, he was still trying to get him to stay alert. He was still trying to get him to stay alert, and he took his last breath around that time. Right? He took his last breath around that time after, because we see Raven's father pull up like right after that. The dispatcher did tell me that she could hear Marcus trying to communicate with, saying some things to him. She didn't say she heard him saying nothing back to him. Because remember, Raven says that, and people thought that Raven was lying or whatever. Raven, she wasn't lying. Um, her dad was trying to keep him alert, as most people do. When people have been shot, they try to keep them alert. They try to keep them from. They just try to keep them alive, until the ambulance get there. And then Raven says that he took his last breath right there, with her dad and them being there. Yeah, Straight Drop's appeal did bring that up, but Straight Drop can file all the damn appeals in the United States. He ain't gonna go nowhere, and Quit better sit his ass down somewhere if he think he gonna go in there and lie for him. The only thing I can see is Quit wants Straight Drop out so he can knock him down, so he could kill him. That's the only thing I can see. Because how he gonna want to try to go in there and lie? It ain't gonna work though, because it's just too much evidence against Straight Drop. But hold on, you all. He says they were saying he fell face forward. And yes, no, when they hit him, he really fell sideways. He fell sideways. That's how he ended up because he was trying to run. And they did that to that boy, and they think that they gonna be okay. God gonna get them. God gonna get them. You sure have to read what you saw. Hold on, you all. Ooh, oh y'all, I gotta go to an event tonight. Let me get off of here so I can. My mama got to be at her appointment at 1:30, so I need to be heading on over there to her. And she ain't called me. Normally she would call me. What we need to leave early so I can get me something to eat. So you can stop and give me something to eat. But the mere fact that she hadn't called tells me that she ain't ready yet. He fell some way and drop came, but they saying he was face up on the photos. That's because they try to lay him on his back. Straight drop ain't getting out of jail. What's gonna happen is straight drop probably gonna be indicted for what happened to Howard Burnett pretty soon. Him and some of the other ones. The same to you, Patrick. Yeah, they know that he was trying to help him. That's what anybody would have did. That's what anybody would have did. Mm. They said drop got to. Well, the district attorney did say that the assistant district attorney did say that he was involved in other murders that they did not want them to bring up at that point. But I don't think they was talking about Howard Burnett at the time. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go take my mother to the doctor. I might get back on tonight. I don't know. I got class tonight. I got my law class tonight. So um maybe when I get off, because that class is 2 hours, if I ain't drained, um when I get out of there, maybe I'll get on or something like that. Um she's pretty cool. That instructor's pretty cool. She's an attorney herself. She's real laid back. I like that. And she specializes in criminal law. She practices criminal law and probate law. I am definitely interested in probate law because a lot of people get raked over the coals because they don't know a lot about probate law, and that's something that we need to know about probate law, um, and all of that good stuff. Because if you have greedy siblings and stuff like that, family members, if you're working and stuff, they'll say, "Well, I'll get
No.
I forget what it's called when you get um power of attorney or whatever over the loved one if they're sick. And you think, okay, well, my sibling got it because we working, they're not working. But when they get the power of attorney or they go and they get, it's another thing you go in probate and get. I cannot think of it. They get the opportunity if your daddy or mama or somebody got wills, they can change it. They can change it. They have the power they'll put their names on all of the accounts, and they normally cut the other siblings out. When money is involved, people get greedy. So that's one of the laws that I'm very interested in learning about. And I think that because one thing for sure, we all gonna have loved ones to pass on. I think when no one child should have power of attorney or I forget what it's called. When you go to probate court to get it, it's right on top of my brain. But as a matter of fact, all of the children together should do that. Therefore, no one sibling can make a decision by themselves. Okay. But oftentimes people get to trust in their siblings and stuff and go, okay, well, I ain't got no job. I could take care of mom. I just need to get, go through the court so that I can make decisions. And since y'all working and stuff, I handle everything. Don't do it. Don't do it. They get the change. They can put their names on the house. They can do it all. Don't do it. Learn more about probate. Get a will in place. And don't give the will to your damn spouse. Go get you a lawyer and let the lawyer handle the will. After you write the will out, go into your accounts and then put whoever names you want on the account. Okay? All of your kids, split it. You could split it at the bank. You could do it at the bank. And then after you make your will, go get you a lawyer and give the will to the lawyer. Because if you give it to your wife or your husband and some of them kids ain't none of his, he is not going to do right. Don't do your children like that. These folks get greedy when there's a lot of money involved. They lose their damn mind and be on their last toe about to die. Ought to be getting their life right with the Lord. But they will let money take them over, gonna go straight to hell, okay? People get weird. They be about to die and they come back from the dead fighting when there's some money involved, okay? Just so that they won't have to do right. And then they spend it all and be talking about the Lord this and the Lord that. No, your ass gonna pay. What's up, Cypress? What's going on with you?
Phone people, I don't know. I'm going to what's up? I'm here. They try to stop me from being here. I'm here. I ain't stopping.
They knocking you out of my chat?
I don't know. I think it's my fault though, because my signal.
No, they probably knocking you out of my chat, but that's okay. Whoever it is that's doing this, I'm putting we coming into agreement tonight. Because see, this stuff been going on too long. God says with 2 or 3 agree, he'll be in the midst. You're going to stop it voluntarily or involuntarily, okay?
Amen. But you can dodge probate court by not having so many goddamn children and siblings hands in the pot. You can dodge that.
What's up, She Johnson?
I am She. What's up, everybody? But yeah, you can dodge probate court. Just don't have so many kids who got their hand in the pot, man. You can dodge that shit. That's my words of advice to start a probate court.
You said that's your word to do what?
To stay out of probate court.
I said, be quiet. You said what now, Cypress?
To stay out of probate court.
No, you probably need to. Well, you don't have to go. I think you have to go through probate court.
Minimize your reproduction. Start out, so you won't have so many hands in the pot when you leave here.
Yeah, sometimes it's only one child that was doing everything, but if your family, if your dad or your mother got a will, and even if it's one child doing everything, it's not up to that one child to decide that because I'm doing everything, I'm gonna go against what they said, and that's normally what happened. They'll get mad. Well, I was doing everything anyway. I'm gonna change the will. I'm gonna just put my name on the accounts, and I ain't gonna give them nothing. So they go totally against what they were told to do. Because if your parents got an account and they put their name on the account, but in the will, you got the money divided up. What's on the account trumps what's in the will, which means the will is asinine. They're going to give the money to the person name who's on the account. When they go get this power of attorney, and they go and they go and they get something else, I forget what it's called, in probate court. They're able to change names on accounts and put their name on it, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. So it's a lot of people ass is gonna pay. They're gonna be walking around here, stomach and shit twisted all the way to the back, mouth and shit twisted. A lot of them already can't hardly stand up and walk because they got their gout in their feet and stuff. And then they already got the nerve. They ain't even on their last leg. Shut up. They're not even on their last leg. They standing on toes. They standing on toes, and they got the nerve to be evil. Shh, be quiet. Okay, y'all. I gotta go. I love you all. I'll talk to you later.